Welcome back to the latest update series of Drishti IAS. This is Divya Kawatra, and today we are going to discuss on a very important topic that contains a strict allegation regarding the fact that China's dams, which India has been protesting against consistently on various platforms, might be the reason why Nepal is facing the floods today. How can that happen? What are these projects of China that are actually affecting Nepal, and not just Nepal, India as well? Let's understand those projects, their impacts, and the correlation between the recent incidents and their constructions. Shall we? All right. So what happened? The devastation unfolding in Nepal, as we can see in the Koshi River, that has put fresh spotlight on China's projects as well. Why? Because the latest tragedy has brought up a question. India has been asking this question for a very, very long time, that what will happen when this upstream region leaves water to the downstream region altogether, right? What is upstream region? What is downstream region? We will understand that. If you know it, well and good. If not, at the end of the video, we will talk about it in short to understand what upstream and downstream means. All right, we'll discuss that. But for now, let's focus on the news. That is, we brought up a question that India has been asking for a long time, that what happens when some of Asia's most powerful rivers, most ambitious infrastructure projects sit upstream in one of the world's most fragile and earthquake-prone regions. This is the question India has been asking, and the result is very clear. The Nepal flood is the answer to this, that this is the kind of devastation that will happen when we reach this situation, right? And we are witnessing that devastation with our own eyes while we are asking those questions, while we are raising those concerns, and still those concerns have not been answered and those concerns have not been dealt with, right? The disaster along the Nepal-Tibet border was linked to an initial assessment to massive ice and rock landslide. Nepalese authorities saying that earthquake may have triggered the event. They're saying that there may have been an earthquake that might have triggered, but earthquake would have given clear signs, right? There may have been tremors because of the water flow. That is also possible. So correct reason, that as we discussed in the last session also, that we don't have the correct reason until and unless everything is cleared down, everything is settled down, then the research institutions find the correct reason. But until then, everything is under speculation. They're saying that maybe earthquake has triggered it. The flash flood has killed more than 160 people already, and hydropower plants in Tibet, particularly the proposed project that is Yarling Sangpo, is becoming the Siang, and then the Brahmaputra entering India and all that. This project is strictly under the scrutiny because of this, because this has a larger impact here. Yes, exactly. So let's understand what these projects are, and before that, let's understand what is happening. What is the trigger event? The recent catastrophic flood across Nepal is showing that the vulnerable region is really accustomed into particular kind of weather, compounded by upstream hydrological manipulation, all that. And the seismic and geological danger. China's dam projects in Tibetan Plateau sit along the active collision boundary with India and Eurasian tectonic plates. And if they are on the active collision boundary, that means any movement in those dams, any hard strike in those dams can anytime bring down an earthquake. A 7.1 magnitude earthquake in the early 2025 already showed us that this can happen, and we were still not prepared, and we still did not stop the project, right? Tibetan hydropower dam highlighted the risk of reservoir-induced seismicity also, massive landslides also, and catastrophic dam breaches also, which is right now happening. This is something that we had already predicted, that this can happen because of this project. Still, the project continued. The project is still continuing. Nepal is facing all that. India might face all that. Alerts have been issued in Bihar as well, and still no action. Still no blame, still no accountability, still no transparency. And another problem that rises is because of the inter-country boundaries, the information sharing also lacks. Because of that, we don't get information as well, as we discussed earlier, right? So the downstream geopolitical impact that we see is another reason that is happening. As an upper riparian state, China controls the headwaters of major rivers also. So once the dam opens, everything comes flooding down, right? This is something of a fear that we had also seen at Brahmaputra also, when China proposed the Medog project, right? When China proposed the Medog project, India was worried that water can be stopped. Yes, that is the worry, that we won't get enough water. But we are more worried about the fact that they can open the dam and leave the water any day, and that will cause large scale flooding in our region, and we won't be able to tackle that, just like Nepal is not able to tackle it right now. An entire northeast is going to get washed down with this. Right? Exactly. So this is something that India has been pointing out since days and days and days, and these are like water bombs, and China has the key to it. Right? Exactly. So what are these high risk projects that China is working upon that might have led to this and can lead to further destructions as well? Number one project is Medog project, the mega dam project on the Yarlung-Tsangpo Brahmaputra, right? What is the location? It is planned under development at the Great Bend of the Yarlung-Tsangpo. You remember the Great Bend from where it enters India, right? You remember already on Yarlung-Tsangpo, China had world's largest dam. World's largest dam, for which you must have heard conspiracy theories like it has actually bent, it is so large that it has bent the axis of the earth. Yeah, did you hear those conspiracy theories? Right. It was so large. This was world's largest. Now, the Medog project that has been proposed, this is world's largest because it is bigger than this one as well. And that is being constructed at the very point where this river takes a turn and enters into India. At this entry point, they're building this dam. We ought to be concerned. We have to be concerned. What other option do we have? Right? So at this bend, they're saying that near the border with India, it is happening. It raised red flags, all over red flags. How so? First of all, they planned it with a staggering capacity of 60,000 megawatt. That is 3 times the size of the Three Gorges Dam. That is already the world's largest one. Right? Yeah. It is said to be the world's largest hydropower plant, and right here, with 60,000 megawatt, for that, how much of water are you going to control? And if you control that water, we don't get the water, that is another thing. We won't get it, Bangladesh won't get it, fine. But then again, if you can lift up the dam and release all that water altogether, you will wash out entire northeast. You see that capacity, and obviously it is a concern, right? And it is situated directly over the major earthquake zone also. Any failure, any sudden water release will devastate it completely, and that earthquake is going to impact India largely, and that water flow is also going to impact entire northeast India on a very large scale. So definitely we are concerned regarding that. Then we have the Baihetan Dam that was on Jinsha River. Status completed on Jinsha River on the upper Yangtze Basin in southwest China. Why it raised red flags? Because it is world's second largest hydropower station. 16,000 megawatt, but in steep earthquake prone valleys, right? Critics have already pointed out that massive terrain disruption and altered localized microclimates, everything is going to bring destruction. Everything is going to bring devastation and nothing else, right? Then the Three Gorges Dam, completed in Hubei province, the world's largest dam by capacity 22,500. That has been constructed already. This is still under construction, so we don't call it world's largest yet. Once the construction is completed and it is functional, then we can call it world's largest. For now, Three Gorges Dam holds the status with 22,500, and the next one is coming at 60,000. Just imagine, more than double, right? Why this raised red flags? Ultimate case study of engineering versus nature. They told that the major reservoir weight will already alter so many things and trigger tremors and severe landslides and will disrupt every functioning, and naturally this is not good. In any way, this cannot be proven good, right? And then we had the dam on Yarlung-Tsangpo Cascade project. This was in Zangmu, became operational in 2015 alongside the Lincoln projects also. Why it raised represented China's first major damming on Brahmaputra. And right here we said that this has begun and this is not going to stop. And that is what is happening. Again and again and again, they are making more dams on Yarlung-Tsangpo. Are all other rivers not functional in China? Do they only have Yarlung-Tsangpo? Where are all the other rivers that are flowing in China? Why cannot they make it there? And right at the point of Indian entry. Coincidence? I don't think so. What do you think? Is it a mere coincidence or a planned strategy? What would you categorize it as? Tell me. Then we had the Wudong Dam, right, on the Jinsha River that we discussed, already operational, 270 meters tall, massive excavation and fragile karst topography. Already soil erosion has happened. Already it has altered the indigenous fish ecosystem. and large-scale impacts have already been witnessed here, right? Then we have Langkang. The status has multiple dams built along the Mekong in Yunnan province, right? Studies have already linked it to Mekong to severe downstream droughts, altered monsoon cycles. Across various southeastern nations like Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, everybody is facing the brunt of it, but China is not ready to stop. China is definitely not ready to stop even then. These are the high-risk projects that China has. 6 projects that we have discussed: Medog, Baihetan Dam, then the Three Gorges Dam, Zangmo Dam, Wudong Dam, and Langkang, right? To understand the trigger versus the risk, what kind of trigger they have and what kind of risk do they possess, let's understand this. Number one, there is a direct cause. Recent August 2026 floods were not caused by a dam bursting. So it is not a direct cause, but they were caused by a massive ice rock avalanche and glacial collapse in the high Himalayas, right? This created natural debris dam that impounded water before bursting. So we can say that it wasn't direct, but then indirectly, why is the glacier melting there? Why are they even moving there? Because your constructions have made them weak, right? Then mega dam risk. The correlation lies in the terrain. How so? The Himalayas are geologically active collision zone between India and Eurasian plate, right? China is building colossal projects also at the same time. So like 60,000 megawatt project already that is happening. In the same volatile terrain prone to all these activities, all these conditions, all these landslides, avalanches. Why this area? Go somewhere else. Go find it somewhere else. And if you cannot, then don't do it. Simple. Why are you forcing it? Because this is going to create so much. But China knows that this might happen here, but the effect will come in Nepal or India. Why? Because China is in the upstream, Nepal and India are in the downstream. So whatever happens here will get carried forward there and China won't witness it. So they cross entire China, and at the end of it, at the very boundary of it, they create this dam. So that China has no impact to bear on that, right? Exactly. The water bomb effect is there. Expert hydrologists have pointed out that this glacial collapse is obviously a water bomb that China can drop anytime, right? So the trigger here is glacial lake outburst that we saw in Nepal recently, ice rock avalanches, and the mega dam project. How does it impact this? Excavation, blasting, slope destabilization, all these activities are done by the dam project, right? Downstream effects, sudden flash floods, mudslides and river overflows that are also happening because of potential catastrophic floods, mega reservoir breaches, and if anything is abruptly opened. Governance crisis, because hard to predict. Natural vulnerabilities, they are hard to predict in the mountain hazards. But in the mega dam impact, we obviously know that any lack of shared real-time hydrological data will obviously create effect on other nations, right? So we cannot compare it with the natural things because it is not equal, right? Exactly. So India has been raising this question again and again and again. Where did we raise it? When did we raise it? Let's take a look at that time period. And if anybody had paid attention to India's words back then, Nepal wouldn't have faced this today, right? Exactly. Where did India do that? First of all, in the bilateral border and diplomatic talks, when routinely have raised it on the 36th working mechanism of consultation coordination also. Action, India officially requested early reconvening of river talks, demanded technical transparency on the China 60,000 megawatt Medog dam. We asked for transparency over that if you share the data, we can prepare ourselves for that. Expert level mechanism meetings established in 2006. They meet annually, with recent meeting in June 2023 that happened. There also they've been talking about this. Special representative talks on boundary question also. In the high-level talks between India's National Security Advisor and China's Foreign Minister, we've put forward that we are linking this with the stability of the world. We are not just saying that you don't do this. We are talking about water management directly for overall border stability and mutual trust as well, right? Then in the Indian Parliament, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, in the formal responses delivered by Ministry of External Affairs in the parliamentary session, they have also been constantly saying that government publicly stated that China stopped sharing crucial Brahmaputra hydrological data, right? Since June 2023, China has not shared any data, and that is a matter of concern for us. This has been publicly expressed and accepted, right? Exactly. So we have been raising that question again and again and again, and yet nothing was done. And now the result is before our eyes, right? So yes, directly China did not open any dam. But can we really give China a clean chit on this one? or should China really take some accountability here? Tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Should China be given clean chit or be held accountable for this? What should we do? Give me your answer in the comment section. And by then, for those who don't know about upstream and downstream, let me explain you the concept in a very short matter. Okay. So upstream is a direction. It refers to the direction against the flow of the river towards its source. Let's say this is the flow of the river. All right. This direction will be towards the source, right? Against the flow. The flow is this, direction is this. Do you see that? Against the direction of the river towards the source of the river, right? We are going towards the source. Let's say here we have the source. We are going towards the source against the flow of the river. That becomes upstream. While downstream is the direction the water naturally flows towards. The water flow direction is downstream. The water flow direction is downstream. All right. It depends on the flow of the water and nothing else. No direction. Don't ratify that, okay, the upwards is upstream, downwards is up. No. It depends upon the direction. There are some rivers who flow like that also. Right? If you look at the flows of Narmada and Tapi, you will see that there are different concepts here. So in that manner, upstream and downstream sometimes changes. All right? Yes. So make sure that you understand the flow of the river, not the direction. Don't ratify it on the basis of direction. Don't cram it up. Okay? Understand the flow, that with the flow, downstream, against the flow, upstream. That's it. Right? Exactly. So upstream, we understand higher elevation, obviously will be at the higher elevation, and downstream will be at the lower elevation. That's why river is flowing in that direction, right? Exactly. That is upstream and downstream in a very simple manner. I hope that you understood that. Anyway, this was just for you a minor static point for you. Other than that, the topic was that, is China really responsible for Nepal's flood? Can it be held accountable? Let me know your opinion in the comment section. And before we move to solve our question for the day, let me remind you that we have our festive offer going on where you are getting lowest prices ever. Why? Because from 31st of August, we are going to take a price hike. Before we do that, we want to give everybody a chance to avail the lowest price ever and get benefit out of this. So don't miss out on the chance, because the offer is only valid till 30th of August. And after that, on 31st, you will see price hike. In UPSC, PCS, teaching and CUET exams, you'll be able to see that. ISDS Foundation course is also at the lowest price ever. Don't miss out on the opportunity. Get it by 30th August. We also have a batch that has just started on 24th of August, right? We have a new batch that has just started on 24th of August. You can take benefit of that also. And from 31st August, you'll see price hike. UPSC mains courses and optional courses are also available in this one. To avail this offer by 30th August, do that before the price gets hiked up. Okay? To do that, go on the Drishti IAS website, Drishti IAS learning app, or give us a call on 87501-87501. All right? Okay, on that note, if you want to join us for more such daily current affairs, you can join us at Drishti IAS English channel Monday to Saturday live at 8:30 a.m. where we discuss the Hindu newspaper PIB news analysis as well as practice question from the previous session. All right? You can join us there daily at 8:30 a.m. at Drishti IAS English channel. Subscribe to the channel and don't miss a session. All right? Shall we solve the question then? Okay, so we have a question on the screen. Read it. Give us your answer in the comment section. Done? All right, we'll see your answers in the comment section. That's about it. That was the video regarding China's role in Nepal's flood. And we'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.